Isolation Nation, welcome. Social Distancing Social Club. I'm Ben Glee, and I have a bubble around my face, not because of COVID or my fear of germs. It is because I have 9 days left to lose 8 pounds, and this is the only way I won't eat food. I had lost 3 in the first week, and then I gained it all back, and I was at 10 pounds right where I started yesterday. And Bowers said, we both have 10 pounds to go. We have 10 days to do it. Good luck, buddy. And I freaked the fuck out, so I'm trying intermittent fasting. I didn't eat hardly at all yesterday. I've already lost 2 pounds. I'm down to 8 left to go. 9 days, bubble around me. I will not be breathing, eating, or doing much of anything other than trying to just shed weight. I can't wait. It's going to be really great, you guys. Please welcome now. Whoever that is not the person I was about to introduce. I am now going to introduce to you the second leg of the four-legged tripod that makes up the quarantine. Please give a warm welcome to Steve Hofstetter.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Ben, I'm glad that you have a coherent plan for how you're going to lose the weight.
Thank you.
Foolproof. Putting a digital bubble around your head for 90 minutes is impossible. You can't possibly eat. I would just like to thank Tam sent me a bunch of Mets birthday cookies, which is kind of amazing. I have eaten almost all of them already. Somehow lost 3 pounds, so I am ahead of Ben. Anyway,
I am wearing this bubble for just about 3 minutes now, and I was just recruited to play in the NBA, dog.
If you want to support the show, please do so. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You could PayPal at sdscshow.com. Of course, Super Chat on the YouTube, throw in those Facebook stars, the Twitter Super Hearts, all that stuff. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, leading the field in the weight loss challenge, please welcome Mr. Chris Bowers. Everybody, Chris Bowers.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? I'm excited. I don't need a bubble around my head. I have willpower. I can just not eat every day on my own, so that's okay though. But I think Ben, you're gonna make it. We're both gonna make it. But if you don't make it, I'm coming to that yard sale, Ben, and I'm buying all your stuff and gonna make you cry. I'm excited.
By the way, Bowers, that is very, very nice and supportive of you. I disagree. I don't think Ben's gonna make it, but
I think he's gonna do it. I think he's got the willpower. He can go 2 nights without ice cream at midnight, and I think he'll lose 8 pounds just from that. So then it's just
I think me saying he's not gonna make it,
and he's there.
Me saying he's not going to make it is going to give him motivation.
That is true. You said that, and I felt more confident than ever. I didn't eat yesterday from 5 p.m. until 1:30 today. So just so you know.
Well, check your door in 20 minutes. The pizza I sent is coming. So
I will lick it. I'll lick a pizza.
Yeah, you can. Queen Rachel, how you doing? Queen, how you doing? She's here.
I feel really bad for those of you that are on a diet because I eat chocolate all day.
That's all right.
Yeah, I should get some of those baseball cookies and eat them on the show.
I don't even know what Rachel's eating, but I'm in. Count me in. Damn it.
No, don't. First bubble. Oh no.
It's just a pepper, but he popped the bubble with the pepper.
I've changed my mind. Ben's not going to make it. Ben's not going to make it. 7 minutes before the show started.
And because it's going to be a spicy show. But once again, looks can be deceiving because it's just a red bell pepper, not spicy. So maybe it'll just be like a mild fun show.
All right. Well, I'll be right back. I'm going to go lick a pizza. So.
Well, because with Laura's birthday and Dean is sick, hope she gets better. There was not an overnight game tonight. So there's not an overnight game. So we don't have that. But Steve, what is today's game?
Today's game in honor of our special guest, who is not only a fantastic comedian, but also a progressive activist, as well as in memory of the 2 months that people didn't hate Mitt Romney. It lasted for a couple months, and then people remembered, oh, he's a fucking coward. We are cowarding a TV show. So take any title of a television show and make it more cowardly. Some examples: Hiding Behind My Two Dads, or Sleep with the Friday Night Lights On. So take any title of a television show, make it more cowardly, and you can comment on any of our streams to submit your entry, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. But if you want your entry to count toward the prize as well as to be read on the show, the way you do that is you tip with at least $5, Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat. We'll read those at the end.
Sounds great. Before we get to the audience, we did have two things to take care of. As I mentioned yesterday, Jan Johnson did upgrade to the Patreon to the front row level. So Jan, thank you for doing that. And so did George Gennaro. George came in at the gamer level yesterday, and then he watched one show and said, you know what, I'm gonna be in the front row. So George is also in the front row, and he's part of the
Thanks,
Patreon
George.
front row.
Welcome, George.
So-
Nice. And before we introduce the audience, though, I do have a very brief story to tell of something that happened just before the show. Got into another Twitter spat. It's kind of a thing I do. This one was completely by accident. My sister-in-law posted an interview that some 13-year-old aspiring journalist did with Lenny Dykstra and posted it and tagged me, said something very nice and said, hey, this kid reminds me of your hustle. Look at this. And I replied, oh, that's awesome. I wish him luck. Next time, hopefully he'll interview someone who's not a garbage pile. And Lenny Dykstra saw that and was not happy. And then wrote a bunch of stuff about how, oh, just because your wife likes me better than you. I'm like, that's my sister, man. But then I told him that him not knowing the difference between a sister and a wife is really on brand for him. And so then he said, comedy man, what you got? And I said, relevance, try it sometime. And so it's been a fun back and forth.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so the leader of SEAL Team 6, Lenny Dykstra, and Budget Chicken are outside Steve's house.
I am most afraid of the budget chicken because you can't see the facial expression.
He has your address. The other two don't. They have to get with the budget.
Exactly.
By the way, how do you think Navy SEALs creep up on people in America? It's definitely in a budget chicken costume. That's how you don't get stopped.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I now imagine that's how they got Osama. They look through the people like, no, it's just a budget chicken. I think we're good. And then
the chicken starts going 525,600 minute, and then he shoots them.
On that note, on a cheery note, as ever, please welcome our video front row to the show. Turn your cameras on. Join the party. We are joined today by Sean Ehrlich in the blue. Must be a home game. We've got Leedy Corbin with us, wearing also a headband in honor of Sean Ehrlich. The drawing has begun. We've got Tam Brown, vertical, clearly not at her computer, clearly not supporting anybody for president anymore. She's given up on the election. I get it. We've got Frankie Angles Nataro supporting the Keys. We've got Chris LaBelle dressed down today. I guess he's just lost his fervor for this show. Dan Skittles Johnson rocking, rolling with us. We've got Jorge Gennaro here with us. Well, it's spelled Jorge, so
I fucked that up yesterday, man. I will say this. Yesterday I had a dilemma, George, because I'm like, okay, what's going to make me sound more white? Saying it improperly if it's George and I say Jorge, or if I say George when it's supposed to be Jorge, and I just picked the one and I fucked it up, so I apologize. It is George, though.
It's George. People can feel free to rename themselves with letters that spell the sounds they want people to make.
Don't call me daddy.
And we've got Jessica Keibel here with us back in our window view, and we've got a mystery box that you might be able to see, but we're not going to say out loud because it's not quite that moment yet, but it will be shortly.
And by the way, let me just add, a cool thing happened. We love having our front row here with the show. And one of the things that makes SDSC different is that our fans are part of the show. And it was fun in the Facebook group. Jessica commented and someone fanned out and was like, oh my God, you're the Jessica Keibel, because she's been on the show so much. And that's how it works.
That's weird.
If you're a fan, but welcome to it. Sometimes people freak out. Sometimes they threaten you with a budget chicken. Things happen. Okay. The point is that if you want to be a part of the show, you can get your front row tickets at sdscshow.com, and you can become whatever the hell your name is, or however it's spelled. And Ben won't realize it.
That is a fact. Steve, would you like to introduce our special guest?
I sure would. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been one of my favorite comics for as long as I've been doing stand-up. Watch this guy in New York all the time. Super, super funny. one of the best in the business, and I'm so excited because he has a brand new YouTube special that people can watch for free, which is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Ted Alexandro. Everybody, Ted Alexandro.
Yes.
Thank you. I think, inspired by George, I might start going by Alejandro now. I'm just going to change it just, whimsically. We'll do it's like a cultural exchange program.
Excellent. Thank you, Fred. That is fantastic. No, Ted is someone who when I first started stand up, and you had been on TV a bunch already, but when I started stand up, it was one of these things where I saw you at a club, and another comic pulled me in and was like, "This is someone you should watch," and they were absolutely right. Ted's joke writing, his delivery, it is a stand up clinic for any aspiring comics that watch. Absolutely, go check out Ted's stuff.
I appreciate that. It's funny, Steve, I don't know if you know this, but in a very direct way, you were responsible for getting me back in at the Comedy Cellar. I don't know if you remember this, but I did your show. It was on the Lower East Side, just south of Delancey. You had this kind of, bar show, and I did it. And then after the show, you said a bunch of us are going to the Cellar for drinks. Do you want to come along? And I said, sure. Now I had been banned by the Cellar because I organized the comedians for a raise a few years prior. That's not what they said, but that was really suddenly my spots dried up.
Yeah.
So I hadn't been there in probably a year or so. I kind of just wrote it off all right, I'll just work all the other shows and Steve's bar show. So
mine is a separate category from all the other shows, by the way.
So because of your invitation, we went to the Cellar that night. And when I walked back to, the back table there, the vaunted back table, SD greeted me like the prodigal son. And she was like, "Where have you been?" And I was like, I think where I've been. But after that, she started booking me again. So it was strictly because of your invitation that I got back in at the Comedy Cellar. I had written it off. I'm like, all right, I guess I won't work there. But, I went back because of you, and I started, and my recent special is shot there. So thank you.
That's amazing, especially because I am not passed to the Comedy Cellar and never have been. So that is perfect. By the way, that bar show was at a bar in Chinatown owned by Chinese people named Yellow. And we were like, every time we put it on a flyer, we're like, do we have to? Can we please call this something else? People are getting upset, and we can't explain. No, it's not us. We swear it's not us.
And I've got my middle ground Comedy Cellar story. I am passed at the Comedy Cellar, but only have gotten one spot since I was passed there about 3 years ago. And I think it's because I was passed. SD saw me, liked my set, said she would use me. And then I came back a week later with two friends, and one of them wanted to order food. And they said, "Do I get a discount because you're a comic?" And I said, "I don't think so, but I guess I could ask." And the server comes over. I'm like, "I'm a regular here now. Do I get a discount on the food?" And the server goes, "Oh, I don't know, but let me just ask the manager." I'm like, no, it's okay. It's fine. No worries. And they come back like, "I just called Esty."
Oh, God.
You have to be on the show, and I've not gotten a spot since. Call
Well, Ben, I think there's only one way to get back in. You have to go with Steve one night for a drink. And Steve is the Comedy Cellar whisperer.
I love that.
Yeah, for everyone but me. And by the way, when I did do my audition at the Cellar, so they put me on, it was like 2 a.m., and I had to follow 15 minutes of Greg Giraldo and then 25 minutes of you. And
is that right?
I did. They gave me 5 minutes. It was this was 2008. It was while I was warming up for Ferguson. And so I run my Ferguson set, and I get 3 applause breaks in 5 minutes. And after my set, Esty comes over and goes, "Good luck to you." I'm like, "Oh, son of a bitch."
Well, Steve, if you take me there next time we're in New York together and I get my spot starting to come again, I will wave you thanks through the window.
I very much appreciate that. Thank you. I'm happy to help everyone's career but mine. It's
just pay full price for the food this time.
Yeah. If, by the way, if I get you past there somehow again, the next time I'm going in and be like, "I get a discount, right? Right? Can you call Esty? Please call Esty. I get a discount."
I'm gonna pay double.
I have a similar story where I had written off a place and then Steve brought me back there, but it was Pizza Hut. So I'm not sure it's the same coolness of story as you guys, but I didn't eat pizza for a couple years. And then Steve's like, I kind of like the stuffed crust. And then he's right. It's fucking amazing. So I appreciate that.
Every time Howard goes there now, they stuff the crust and he thinks it's just for him.
I don't know which is harder to believe, that I willingly went to Pizza Hut or that Bowers ever stopped.
Yeah, those are both. I made both of those things up. You're right. That was a lie on both ends of the story. I was just trying to be relevant, but whatever. Thanks, Steve.
Also, I love seeing Ted's stark black background. It makes me realize that maybe my background is overcompensating for a lack of content here, because this is really...
Oh, no.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm considering adding a bubble, because you inspired me. I think
really
that might help. Yeah.
It's very nice to just hear your own thoughts, be in your own echo chamber. It's really a good place to live.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it. I'm going to get the info on that.
And at some point during the show, Ted, I do want to talk to you about the Comedians Coalition, because that was such a revolutionary thing that changed comedy for like 2 years.
And then all the clubs right now, then, because we were to bring up another time.
Well, no, we're gonna talk about it more in depth, is what I'm saying. But we should introduce.
Yeah, let's introduce our comics. So we have a comic today. We have a comic today. We're excited she's here. Frankie French is here. Frankie, how are you doing?
Woo! Woohoo!
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Quick question. Are you cool, whites? What's going on here? This is very Caucasian. Am I safe? That is the first thing I need to know.
Well, that's why we do this via Zoom.
Yeah, I'm identifying as Latino for the night. If it's any help,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm identifying as
yes. All right.
I'm identifying as Israeli, if that works. So let's...
I mean, I am also Muslim, so yikes.
I'm going to turn my camera off out of respect.
Where are you coming from, Frankie? Where are you at right now?
I am in Virginia. Yeah, Northern Virginia. I live in Alexandro right now. I moved to LA before the pandemic in January, at the end of January. And then I came back because my husband lives here still. So I came back to quarantine with him, and it was a trick. Like, it was apparently a trick for me to come home. Like, we got a second child now. We're back together. Like, things are great. We're recommitting our love. The whole thing was a trap. So sorry, you guys, about COVID. That was.
So what you're saying
Virginia,
is the apartment you had in LA is available.
No, actually, it's not. I was staying in my friend's guest house. So,
Okay.
which I'm thanking God that I didn't rent or buy anything, because that would have been very unfortunate.
I was going to say, so Virginia's motto is actually that's true, huh? Virginia is for lovers. It worked out.
Oh my God, yeah,
Right.
it is. My husband's like a Shetland pony. Yeah,
I thought you meant Virginia's motto was "It's a trap." Virginia.
That's
It's
lesser
also
known.
that.
Yeah.
It's also that.
Yeah, one of their senators is Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, so thank you guys for having me. This is fun. You all are absolute lunatics. It was great.
So you're referring to the other hosts more than me. A lot of them are nuts, and I will convey the message to them privately on text.
Oh no, Ben, you are lunatic number one, sir. And please don't ever associate me with your name, because really, you called to find out if you can get free food.
I didn't call.
Hilarious.
The server called. The server
You
completely.
should have tricked that bitch. Like, you should have done anything to stop her. Like, hucked a glass at the back of her head. I don't know, but you should have at all costs
I had
stopped her.
once in one of the previous iterations of bar shows. We had this bar show in Midtown at this place called Nessa, which was this like really high-end bar, and they had a really nice upstairs. And this is where like the Yankees would hang out after games. Like, this was a really nice place. And for some reason, they let us do this bar show there. And it was great, and it was well attended. We did it like 3 times. And then I go out of town, and someone else runs it for me. And I come back into town, and the manager is like, "Hey, we're not doing the show anymore." I was like, "What? Why not? Was the attendance bad? Like, what happened?" And he was like, "No, one of the comics went behind the bar to make himself a drink."
Shut your face.
Yes. I was like, are you what? And like I found out, I like talked to a bunch of people and I found out the whole thing was basically he was tired of waiting because the bartender was making drinks, you know, for the paying customers. And all the comics got one free drink. You know, Ben's friend would have asked for two, but all the comics got one free drink. And he decided to just go and take one. And that was it. We were done.
Why did Bowers do that?
See how Ben's trying to pass the buck, right? We know it was you, Ben. It's got your stink all over it, okay, buddy?
I would like to be clear one more time. I did not ask for the discount. I was trying to be polite to my friend. I got screwed. I was framed, basically.
By the way, I love that George changed his Zoom name now to Joe J. Which is great. Okay, so Ted, I want to talk to you about the Comedians Coalition. So this was like what, mid 2000s, probably like 04, 05 around there.
Yeah, I think it was actually 06, but yeah.
06. Okay, so I'd only been in the game for a couple of years, and you guys had put together. It was you, Tom Shalhoub, Russ Maneve, and am I forgetting anyone?
Buddy Bolton was also kind of involved. Yeah.
Right, and Buddy Bolton. And basically the clubs were treating New York comics like shit and paying really poorly. And so Ted and some of the other veterans kind of got together and created this thing called the Comedians Coalition, where it was collective bargaining because there is no comedians union. And I as a young comic would go to these meetings and I was really inspired by the whole thing. And it was really interesting to watch like the other newer comics, like the other people who had been in as long as I have, because we weren't at the level where we were even getting paid by these clubs. And they were like worried about being punished by the clubs. And you guys were trying to explain to them like, no, once you guys make it to the point where you're paid, you need to be paid well. And they were just like, but we'll kill our own grandmother for a spot, which actually is what's happening during COVID. But and like these kids just had no foresight whatsoever. It was so frustrating to watch.
Yeah, we tried to convey to them, don't do anything to jeopardize your spots. Don't ask for half price on food, things like that. Just stay away from those types of things. You know, that'll come down the road.
That's just basic comedy 101, Ted. I mean,
right.
Basics.
But, you know, sometimes you want to start at square one. So basically, you know, that was part of our effort, Steve, was to try to incorporate everyone from open micers on up through, you know, the kind of established veterans, because we knew that it had to be a unified front in order to get the pay raised. You know, the pay had essentially been the same in New York City since the mid 80s, which was, I think at the time, like $10 a spot during the week, and then it was $50 on Fridays and Saturdays. So we were asking for 100 on the weekends, and I believe 50 during the week. We wound up eventually getting that to 75 on the weekends, and they still kept it at like 25 to 30 during the week. But it was the first pay raise since the 80s. So I was very proud to have been part of that. And it was, you know, some people say we should have filmed it. I don't know if that would have compromised the integrity of what was going on, but I kind of do wish that I could look back. Some of those meetings were insane.
I would love to have seen footage from those meetings, because you had like Dave Attell there talking and Patrice O'Neill talking, and then like some kid who had done 2 open mics not shutting up for 5 minutes straight. And we're like, are you trying to get stage time right now? Like, is this...
Yeah, that was not uncommon that people would be like, you know, Chris Mazzilli passed me at Gotham, but then, you know, I did another set and he didn't have me back. Can the coalition do something about that? Like, no, we can't. In fact, why don't you leave right now? You know? Yeah, it was like, it was kind of comical from the beginners on to the veterans. And sometimes people like Colin Quinn would just like filibuster for the hell of it and just kind of go off on a tangent. So it was fascinating, but it was cool to kind of see like these, basically we're all freelancers, we're all independent contractors more or less, but to see everybody kind of come together for that and to see the results, you know, was gratifying. And also we had help from AFTRA was very helpful. There were a couple of lawyers, Stephen Burrow, David Salvador, a couple of lawyers from AFTRA really came to our aid and did that free of charge. So that came in handy too, because I think by ourselves, I don't know how effective a lot of the legalese would have been on our part.
Well, thank you for doing that, because now whenever I go to New York to do spots, I actually get an amount of money that is an amount of money worth anything. I can immediately put that right back into drinks and leave with nothing. It's awesome.
I know. You're welcome. It is, it is somewhat kind of pathetic still that, that we're talking about 14 years ago now, that I think the cellar has kind of gone up a little bit. They're like 100 now, 125 at the Village Underground. So they've kind of at least instituted a couple of further raises. But it's true, Ben. I mean, the fact that it still is that same amount, even going back to 2006 now, it's, it's problematic. So hopefully this, I'm kind of like, I think I'm out of the organizing game, but if a younger generation gets involved and takes that up, I would certainly support it.
When I was running that club in Long Island City, our goal was always to pay more than other clubs, partially because like no one wanted to come to Queens. So it was tough enough. But it was interesting to have been there, as a comedy kid, and see the Comedy Coalition really, get a lot of what they asked for. And then the clubs just start slowly rolling it back, where they would just be like, oh yeah, we pay $100 a spot now. We have one spot per show. All the rest are guest spots. And the loophole thing. And I think the problem is, and I know we're getting into the weeds here, but also the problem is there needs to be a bookers coalition also, because the amount of times that comedians will fuck over bookers is just as much as we will fuck over, like as bookers fuck over comedians. And so we need to sit down at the table together and lick pizza. I think that's the key.
Well, it was illuminating because, like you say, they always found a way. Like they would cut a spot here, cut a spot there. They would refer to certain spots as developmental, and they would be unpaid or whatever. And as you alluded to earlier, there's always a younger comic who's just thrilled to be passed at any legit club, so they'll take that developmental spot. So yeah, sometimes we would undercut our own efforts. Other times the clubs would certainly undercut it as well. So it was a learning curve with a lot of that stuff. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep it going because it was really like a full-time job. I dedicated a good 6 months to the organizing, the meeting with Russ and the guys that you mentioned, meeting with the clubs. It was really a full-time job for those 6 months or so. So, progress was made. But like you say, with a lot of things, there's always these, kind of undermined things that go on.
And by the way, and Sean Ehrlich just asked in the chat, how do clubs make money? How do comics make money if clubs are paying them peanuts? It's clubs in New York and LA pay garbage. Everywhere else, we get paid okay because there aren't a lot of us. Whereas, in New York and LA, they can always, have enough to fill the roster. Like, for instance, Ben is already coming for Ted's background. Like,
look, I'm doing my best here to recreate the vibe of the background. I'm holding in my hand for 25 minutes. It's very hard because if I drop it onto the table, it's out of frame. So
I think if you submit that to Esty and our photos side by side, she might take you back.
Kind of 2 photos for the price of 1, if you know what I'm saying.
That's right. That's right.
My question, Ted, is twofold with all these meetings with these comics. One, how late did every meeting start, and was there a light? Because I think both those things are important if you're going to have a bunch of comics in a room.
Well, it's a good question, Chris. I found that my background in teaching, elementary school teaching, came in handy with a lot of these meetings because I was kind of like, sit down, raise your hand, listen when the other people speak. Don't, when I blink the lights, that means we all put our heads on the desk.
It was also the
little heads up, 7 up, it's not going well.
The amount of times I heard Patrice O'Neill just go, man, shut the fuck up. Like that was half the meeting.
Patrice was there to heckle more or less, but eventually we got some stuff done. So yeah, it was it was pretty exciting. It was draining, but ultimately very satisfying to have left that legacy where the pay went up. And like I said, hopefully someone else will pick that up. I know there's always grumbling in the ranks, and occasionally I get messages from comedians saying, hey, can you do this again? And I'm like, I'll support you, but I'm not going to be, starting this because I know it's a full-time job, but I'm happy to support anyone who initiates that.
So I shouldn't ask you to move to LA and do that here. That's not really.
We got phone calls from all over the country for people saying like, we want to piggyback on this. And I said, again, like we'll support you, but I can't really have any influence in a city that we're not in, we did try to, even it was actually internationally, we were getting calls from London, Australia, people saying like, we want to, kind of piggyback on this coalition. But each, like Steve said, each city is kind of its own scene, so it's really hard to make a uniform pay scale, like everywhere.
So
Was
I
it-
got
did you guys
quoted in.
Wait,
Sorry.
Steve, hang on. Frankie, what'd you say?
Sorry.
Well, I was just wondering, Ted, did you guys mainly focus on pay rates? Did you ever go to the clubs in regards to gender or race or any of those types of issues?
No, it's a good question. At the time, everything, the reason that it really started up was solely because of the pay.
Mhm.
Now, that said, at the meetings, people did voice other concerns. Some of the female comics spoke up and expressed those issues. We actually had a sheet where people like could anonymously, if they wanted to, or they could put their name on it, list their kind of grievances with the club. And some of that would get a little bit into the weed of like, somebody saying like, oh, I want to, do we get half price food or something like that? But for the most part, people
That's
would.
probably the biggest bullshit move, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
But for the most part, people
Really?
would, express like legitimate concerns with the number of women on a bill or the number of non-white males on the bill, So we did submit all of those things to the clubs. We did
Right.
say, here's a list of the feedback that we're getting from comedians, concerns that you might better run the club, better represent, the comedians that are working. So yeah, that was passed along to the clubs, but we found that the only thing that really kept people in a meeting room and coming
Money.
together was the pay,
Right.
It's also
Yeah.
it was also interesting, New York stand up at the time, you had clubs like the Laugh Lounge, which would book almost exclusively female comics. And then you would have clubs like Caroline's, which kind of turned itself into an urban room on most nights. And then you had other clubs that would just be like white men only. And so, but the one thing they all did wrong was pay people shit. Like they had various clubs were racist and various clubs were sexist, but they were all shitty about the money, which was a nice way for them to all come together and be shitty to everyone. It was almost unified.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what was interesting?
Discriminate
we did have one night that was almost like a scene from The Godfather, where like the 5 families came together. The heads of every club met. We met at the Friars Club, as a matter of fact. So it was like a representative from Gotham, from the comic strip, on down the line. The Comedy Cellar, and they met with those 2 lawyers, myself, Russ, and about 50 other comedians came. So it was great because every time they would throw a line of bullshit, like I remember Al Martin saying like, it's tough. Like things were so hard at the New York Comedy Club that I had to open a second location. It's like, that does not make sense.
We made so little money. We had to open a second. It's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life. That's hilarious.
So it was great to have a room full of comedians to just like sick on them, like every time they threw out a line of bullshit,
I was quoted in one of the articles about it, and that article was it was Reuters, so it was picked up by a bunch of places. So I got some phone calls here and there, and one of the calls was this producer who was like, oh, I think it's cool that you're getting involved in this so young. I'd love to bring you to Edinburgh to do a show. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. What a cool opportunity. And then he like told me to do it. I would have to put up $30,000 for like promo and theater rent and all this stuff. And I was like, did you just call me in an article where we're talking about how comics are being taken advantage of to ask me for $30,000? You fucking asshole. I hate this business.
Ben said, could you do it for 15? And then he wouldn't have got that.
Well, what's funny? Like the coverage did go international. I think like the first things that helped cover it and also helped put pressure on the clubs there was an article in the New York Times. NPR did a story. And then it kind of went international, but it was kind of funny because it was like those typical kind of hacky things that you would expect, like no money, no funny, like all these kinds of ridiculous things. So you can look those, you Google those sometime. It's pretty funny from Comedians Coalition, New York Times. It's funny to look back on.
Yeah, the headlines were much more hacky than the headliners.
That's true. That's true.
Half price burger can't go further. Comedian shoots own career in foot.
Rachel,
Yes.
what do we got coming in?
We have a lot coming in. So let's see. So first off, Alexander Breyer said, if the comics were good, did they get gold stars?
Yeah, pretty much. It's comedy in New York for your first 10 years is an internship.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think LA is even worse. I think they would get they would send them checks for like $5 or something. So the stories I was hearing from LA were even worse.
Oh, I asked the improv, I was like, hey, I haven't really been getting any spots. And they were like, yeah, we gave you a spot. And I'm like, yeah, but I kind of need more than one a year in order to do this. And I like pulled out of my wallet the $12.50 check they gave me for the last spot I had. And I was like, I can't really live off of this. This isn't working.
I mean,
and then I didn't get another spot for 5 years.
Luckily now the spots pay, I think, $8, but it's cash. So that's nice. Maybe it's 10.
Progress.
I have no concept of how much they pay.
But anything is believable. That's the
Right.
real commentary. You could have said $2. I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
And that is one thing I will absolutely, stand up for the laugh factory on this. Like people always joke about, they call Jamie who owns it, they always call him cheap, and they pay better than any club in LA. They're the only LA
they pay
club
well
that
these days. Absolutely.
Yeah, that gives people a living wage.
Yeah, and these changes and how important it is to get paid is a big part of why we structured this show to be one of the only live streaming comedy shows I know of that pays everybody that appears on it. You know what I mean? You get to all the comics get paid, so that we try to do our best we can to take care of people, and we're raising money for the Martin Grant as well, and for the Friendly Shoulder Grants.
I wanted to mention I've organized everyone on this show for a raise, actually. So I don't know if now's an opportune moment to bring it up.
Now's the perfect time, Ed, and I have a few other points to it now.
Yes. Frankie, you have the floor.
We also
The
had,
chicken fingers here have always been half price. You just send me $7 and I'll send you.
But they've also always been half eaten. So
That's why they're half price.
Then
Rach, what do we got?
So we had Z Bunster tip the show and said, Ted, I'm embarrassed to ask, but is there a comedians union?
No, that's a good question. And that was actually the intent initially when we set out. And there was some talk about maybe piggybacking on AFTRA. The two unions were not combined at that point, SAG-AFTRA. So it was just AFTRA alone. So the fact that the lawyers were working with us, there was some discussion about that. But a lot of comedians pushed back on the notion of forming a union because, a lot of what we do is cash payment under the table. They didn't want paperwork involved. A lot of people were anti-union for whatever reason. So that didn't come to pass. So we wound up just going with the idea of like this comedians coalition, and it focused solely, really not solely, but mainly on the pay. But that was the hope, was like we set out to form a union.
I was actually I was the comedians liaison to SAG-AFTRA for a little bit. And, and that came from me being disciplined by them because I took non-union work. And, and I had a meeting with them about it. And one of them was trying to explain to me, why wouldn't you be completely in favor of the union? I'm like, well, because comedians need to work. We don't care about television. We do television so that our live shows do better. A lot of us aren't actors. We don't care. Some of us think we are, and we're terrible. But
if you saw Steve in Psycho Yoga Instructor, he's not an actor, so you really
absolutely not at all. That was just me. That was just me playing me. But but one of the conversations I had with them, there was this one person on the disciplinary board who was just like this, old school actress who hasn't worked since the 70s, and she kept talking about health plan this and health plan that. I'm like, you did one dental commercial in the 1970s and you've lived off of it. It's not the same anymore. Like, it doesn't work like that anymore, where you could have one appearance on CBS and you never need to work another day in your life because you buy a home in LA for $50,000. Like, fuck off with that. We need to modernize this. And so anyway, I just wanted to, the reason I wanted to have this conversation was because, you know, Ted was a huge inspiration for that kind of stuff for me.
No, I appreciate it. You know, like I said, it was, along with any of the kind of career stuff I've done, it's probably one of the things I'm most proud of, and formed a lot of real lasting friendships out of that as well. So yeah, it was, and a lot of comedians still, you know, they'll send me messages out of the blue, just saying thanks and stuff. So yeah, it was cool to have been part of that.
I've always wanted a
Back
union.
with
so we could-
issues deep dive in a moment. We're about to beaches, refreshing beaches.
All right, Rachel, what do we got coming in on the tip side? What do we got?
I've got a lot. So Renee Hutchison tipped the show and said, question for Ted. I have a bump on my head about 3 inches above my right eyebrow. Can you consult the head and tell me what that means?
Well, I can consult my own head. I have 2 bumps, like horns right here. So I would just suggest adding a second and balancing it out. And the head concurs.
I don't disagree at all. A second horn really does help the balance, because it's hard sometimes to focus. It's very hard. I feel like you're just like, and you're always poking people in the eye. So I agree wholeheartedly with that.
Well, speaking of demons, we had a tip, $6.66 from Matthew Dobbs, and said, thanks for the laughs. It's been a rough week.
Thank you,
Matthew Dobbs. Thank you so very much, Matthew.
Dark Lord. Yes, thank you.
All right, we got tips to get through before Frankie's set.
All right. We also have Dana tipped the show $25 and said, am I missing the secret handshake or something? I'm on Team Glebe, string cheese, Patreon level. For a while now, I see no name, no string cheese. I feel no love. Whimper, I'll give you more money. How's that guilty feeling coming along?
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Howard, what's up? Somebody fell through the cracks here. Thank you for Team Glebe, by the way.
What are we talking about?
Someone's
Howard,
been
send
left off.
me the updated Patreon list, or I'll check it. We got to update. We update the credits every month or two.
Okay.
Okay.
I think she wants to eat more cheese, man. I think that was trying to make you lose your diet.
Couple more. So at the end of the show yesterday, we got a $50 tip from Michelle, and she said she had just stumbled upon us on Facebook watching the Sklar Brothers and Katrina. It's rare that I laugh so hard that my entire belly jiggles. Thank you. I love your show.
Ben's trying to reduce his belly jiggle right now, so we appreciate it.
And then Ben Sewell tipped the show and said, I missed the second half of yesterday's show. I knew a girl in high school named Jackie Kanoff.
Oh, God.
Also, my favorite part of the show was when Rachel pronounced Kimno correctly. I probably didn't pronounce it right that time, though, did I?
Kimono? Were you trying to pronounce kimono?
It was just K-M-N-O. How do you say that? Kimno?
K-M-N-O.
No one knows what that is.
You say it's Noel.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's right.
It's JKMO. Yeah. M-O.
All right, let's get to Frankie.
Are we caught up? All right, let's go to a comic. I'm excited. She's one of Variety's 10 comics to watch. Give her the very funny Frankie French, everybody. Woo!
Wow. Hello. Nice to see you all. This is very fun. I think, Queen Rachel, the person was trying to say that the name was Jack Meoff, I think, because that was whatever that other thing they said was weird and wrong. Yeah, so boo for that person. Anyway, quarantine has been weird. You guys love, I love it. I know everyone's very sad and upset about it. I love it. When I go out in public, people stay the fuck away from me. It's my favorite shit, because white folks, I don't know if you know this about yourselves, but whenever the person in front of you takes one step forward, you have this very weird thing that you do where you take 2 steps forward. See, Chris right there, he's like, yes, bitch, we do that. I don't understand what that is, but I don't have to go, back the fuck up every time I go to Walmart. Like, it's amazing. Beautiful. The only downside that I've had to quarantine is my husband and I have a roommate. You know, what are you going to do? And she, I don't know if you've met one of those like millennial, what's the word? Pieces of shit. Have you ever met? Or, she's a monster. Like, I literally want to steal her phone, find her mom and dad's phone number, reverse search it, Google how to get there, go to their house and just knock on the door like, what the fuck? Explain yourselves. You know what I mean? She eats the last of my cereal, doesn't replace it. What kind of animal? I come home one night, right? I get a bowl, I get the spoon, I get the milk. It's late at night. I just want a quick snack. I turn the box over. You know what I heard? You know what that is? That's Fruit Loop dust, okay? What kind of monster is Fruit Loop dust in the box? It doesn't have the decency to leave a straw and a razor blade in there so I can at least try to chop it up and snort it and see if I get the same delicious fruity flavor, okay? All right, I see we got a couple of Fruit Loop users here. That's what's up. She does weird shit like she doesn't speak English, right? She's not an immigrant. She just only speaks hashtag. What? Selfies? She lists that as a pastime. Bitch, it's not a pastime. And she loves to send them to me. I'm just like, hashtag, I've already seen you. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? She sent me one night, right? I'm out at a show. It's actually a selfie of her and my husband snuggled up on my sofa underneath the blanket that my dead grandmother made me, watching the TV I got for my birthday with the caption, hashtag, movie night. That's how many E's she put in a word that doesn't have any E's, okay? So I sent her back a hashtag. You guys should probably, you don't have to jot it down. It's really easy to remember. It's trending. There's a lot of really funny threads associated with it. I sent her back the hashtag, hashtag, bitch, I don't think you know how black women work. I'm gonna fuck you up when I get home. I play a lot of shit, but I don't play with my husband. Oh, you see that spirit in my closet? Wakanda forever. The one thing we did, right? Heart on your bitch ass when I get home. It's real easy to remember. Put it in a simple Twitter search. Here's the wildest thing she ever did. One night, I'm excited to come home and get in the bed. Why? Because my husband's out of town. And it's not a dig on him. I love him. But anyone who sleeps with the same person every night knows for a fact the greatest gift your partner can give you is not to get in the bed. It's fucking amazing. Okay? Masturbate everywhere. It's incredible. So I get home. I'm excited to, handle my personal private business. So I take a sexy shower. Ladies, we've all done it. Just sitting on a toilet naked drinking wine. So when I finished crying, I slipped into something a little sexy. I got into bed. You won't believe this shit. The bitch is in my bed. Sleep. Wearing my Guns N' Roses t-shirt, right? I was like, welcome to the jungle, bitch. Right? We got fun and games. Now, here's the wild shit. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this last part and then I gotta get out of here. Here's the wild part, right? And this is where you're probably gonna judge, but please leave your judgy McJudgerson, leave that at home, all right? This girl has never, not one time, the entire time she's lived with us, has never paid rent. And here's the worst part, uses the same excuse every month why she can't. I'm like, girl, where's your rent money? She's like, mommy, please stop telling people I'm your roommate. I'm only 12 years old. I cannot help you and daddy with your bills. Saving for college, because clearly you niggas don't got it. All right, I'm Frankie French.
Frankie French. By the way, hashtag Fruit Loop Dust playing at the Roxy this Monday. Check them out. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. Tip jar is open. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You can PayPal at sdscshow.com. Of course, you can super chat on the YouTube. Fantastically done, Frankie.
I thought the Guns N' Roses song was "I Used to Love Her, but I Had to Kill Her." But I think "Welcome to the Jungle" also works.
I'm a diehard Guns fan. I'm talking about. I know the whole original ensemble: Steve Adler, Izzy Stradlin, Duff McKagan, Slash, and Axl. Like that's my jam. I know every word to every song. I know every dance move. And you are absolutely right, Chris. I used to love her. I had to kill her. That would have nailed it. But I do a physical act out where I kick her out of the bed, and it's and hilarious. Maybe I could do a digging motion with the mic stand. I don't know.
That was a great. It was a great. You hit it well. You hit it well. It was great till the end because I didn't have any clue that it was your daughter. Very, very end.
Well, see, you didn't see her walk behind me. I'm like, you're blowing my bit. Like that's what I was yelling. Get the fuck out of here! You're blowing my bit. You fucking bitch. What's wrong with you? Yeah, that's what.
She's
the amount of times and that
eating a bowl of Fruit Loops as she walks by. Yeah.
It was the craziest shit. I'm like, where'd they get the fucking cat from?
She's like, do I get a discount on these Fruit Loops because I live here? You're like, bitch, do not play with me.
Don't fucking play with me. Square the fuck up. That's how we roll in this house.
I was mind blown by that. I consider you the M. Night Shyamalan of comedians. Really well done.
And I will say the amount of times, because like there are so many jokes where comedians will do something and be like, oh, last time I played here, I got heckled. And I was like, Dad. And it's not a misdirect because it's immediate. And
Right.
like the fact that like I know that kind of bit, it is one of my pet peeves in comedy. I had no idea that was coming. Because like that's the right way to do that. The right way to like to craft so you're short. Like we could have all written a novel about this roommate, and we were definitely all picturing a white girl. I know that for a fact.
Exactly. That's the whole idea. You fucking hate this bitch so much. In the audience, as I'm going through it, people are offering to come and beat her up. You know what I mean?
I play the long game on this show. I've been your son this whole time.
Now, see, my favorite kind of comedy is when parents shit on their children. I just make that. I don't have kids, so when anybody hates their kids, I'm like, I think I made the right decision, and I like this comedy a lot. So I love jokes like that. So
Thank God that is not your favorite kind of porn. I'll be honest with you.
I stopped myself from making that joke, and I wish I had done it now. Damn it.
Frankie, I like the way we're all saying it as if. I like the way the feedback is as if you're on like a competition show. Like, I'm going to bring you back, Frankie. You made it to the next. You made it to the next round.
This is the one comedy show that's paying right now. I mean, it kind of is that. So
That's
I
true.
was not looking the whole time, but boom, I am in. Count me in. Frankie, welcome to my team.
Just like Ted, FYI, it is not a competition, but I still kind of feel like I beat you. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yes, I bow down. I bow down.
So
Ted will organize. He will be back. He will be organized, and he will come back, and you won't know what hit you, Frankie.
Yes.
Well, based on Ted organizing the comics now, we actually can't afford to have any comics on the show anymore. So sorry, guys. No. So before we do tips, I know that Ted does have to run before the end of the show. I wanna show some of Leedy's drawings early. Can we do that? Can we go to Leedy twice today?
We
All right.
also have a couple questions for Ted too.
Excellent. All right. So Leedy, what you got?
Would you like me to show everything that I have so far, or just what I have of Ted?
Anything you have of Ted or Frankie so far?
Awesome. All right, so here's just Ted in the dark with his little bubble head. So
I love it.
here's Frankie. I'm not number and that's all I have so far of the two of them.
Nice.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you.
Awesome, Leedy. Thank you. So Rachel, what do we got coming in?
Well, so for Ted, we had Tasha Whitman tip the show and said, I came in late. All this serious talk had me so confused. I was expecting dick jokes, and then I hear politics. Thank you.
Usually we do both.
Yeah, it's not that
We
big.
don't do politics very often. I ran for president. I've talked about it for about 19 seconds on this show. But we wanted to dive deep into comic pay, and we did it. I'm proud of it. I'm happy we did it. I would turn my chair around for that. In fact, I'll do it right now. Boom. You're on my team, Ted. Let's do this shit.
Thank you. I feel like I'm in safe hands.
I feel a lot of politicians are dick jokes. That's kind of the same thing.
That's true.
That's true.
We also had
Tiny hands, Ted. I'm sorry, Rachel.
I'm used to it. We had Tam tip the show $10 and said, Ted, while I'm appalled at how comedians are paid in some places, the nerd in me is wigging out over everything I'm learning.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad Steve asked me about it because it's something that I don't talk about that often. But yeah, it's cool. I'm glad, some people enjoyed the back history.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I had forgotten it ever happened.
Yeah.
And
So did
Ted,
the clubs.
Yeah.
And then what are you doing with your name and your reach to make sure Trump gets back in office? You got any ideas or slogans?
I'm emptying the kitchen sink, No, I mean, obviously, what is it? It's like 40 days now. So please, God, I'll put whatever I make in this show towards getting him out. Yeah, it's just, it's a nightmare. And, while I'm no huge Biden guy, he's clearly the eons better, choice. So yeah, we'll see, man.
I'd vote for the head at this point.
Yeah, actually, that's why I'm here tonight. We're forming an exploratory committee to see if there's interest.
Head Lincoln 2020. Head-based ending. Now they're joining forces once again to bring democracy back to our great nation.
That's right. That's right.
Donate here.
The solutions are literally written on the head. So, it's like the magic 8 ball. There's a solution for any and all issues.
Love that. Hit it randomly in a spot, and what does it come up on?
Intuitive reasoning, reflective
nicely shaped
faculties. So none of which Trump possesses. So I think right away, that's should vote for the head.
We're already shit out of luck on that. Fantastic.
Rachel, what else we got?
So do we want to get into Frankie's tips? We got a
yeah.
lot to get through. Okay. So starting us off, there's like 20. Technics 5 Canadian said, Franqi, yes, they're cool whites, verified. These comics aren't just funny. They march and they use their platforms for promoting justice. Welcome.
Stop. I love it. Yes.
Thank you, Technics. If we had said that, though, it would not have been cool.
No.
I'm glad. Actually, I sent that comment. So,
Also, generally try it.
Yeah, that was from Ted Nix.
I try generally not to refer to us as whites whenever possible.
It's only okay if you add the S on the end, like with blacks. So make sure when you're referencing black people, you add that S. We love it. We don't. But I just hope you videotape yourself doing it to at me like, Frankie, look, I took your advice. And then I'll laugh as you get punched in the face. But go ahead.
I bet you also love Trump's way of doing it, referring to it as my blacks. I'm sure you guys love that.
Prefer that. Like the ownership in the front's gotta be there.
Yeah. Frankie, for sure, I know that's a trap.
We also had Technics 3 more Canadian and said hilarious hashtag Fruit Loopers Unite. Great set.
Thank you. Love it.
Sean Ehrlich, $10. So Frankie can be an extra couple of boxes so she can get an extra couple of boxes of Fruit Loops.
Nice.
Z Bunster, $10. Frankie to change the locks so she might get that subtle hint. And then she tipped $5 more and said, oh, I fell for it.
But also still change the locks.
That's a long misdirect. You get twice in the middle of it. I'm sorry, Frank, what'd you say?
I said she's giving me legal advice on how to get this wayward roommate out of my house.
And then we also had Cindy Wood tip $10 and said, great set.
Thank you, Cindy.
We have Renee Hutchison, $10. Frankie, hashtag eviction, hashtag bye Felicia.
That's the name of my pilot, so that's kind of funny. But it's B.I. Felicia because I'm a bi woman, so that's pretty fantastic.
There's Peter Amsel, 5 Canadian. Frankie, you had me at Fruit Loops. Great set. Yes, we're safe, especially the Canadians. BLM.
Yes.
Cassie Nolan, $5. Frankie, 12-year-olds are the worst.
Girl, the absolute armpits. Yeah.
By the way, the person who tipped
you know what they turn after that birthday after 12, you know what they turn? Into getting the fuck out of my house. Like that's the next.
Jess sent in a tip, $25, and said, for Ted, you have a nicely shaped head.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And with such a perfectly shaped head next to me, I take that even more of a compliment. So
that is actually the one that she meant, Ted.
Oh man, that's true. That's true.
I've been working hard here trying to make my background matched heads even better. I think I just finished my own head. There we go. Put that right here.
Why do you have a head in your house? Jesus Christ, that's so funny.
Isn't that the real question, Chris?
Wait, no, Bowers, why do you think he only has one?
I've definitely got several heads. Just give me time.
Me too.
The only way he's been able to get head during the pandemic.
You hear that, Carmel?
Do you hear that? Sad universal truths.
There's the dick joke somebody requested, right? Right on cue.
Yeah, show us the
Happy to
mouth of
deliver.
that head, Ben. Does that mouth have a hole in it?
No, there's no hole.
Okay, good.
There's no hole.
No, he filled it in. No, I'm kidding.
I was very high one night, and I just did this weird head rant about the state of the world. It says united by bills, cash kills. It's just like one of those crazy people that are like ranting at you on the streets and all the different parts of the body. And obviously, I just fucked that hole in the bottom.
By the way, Frankie, in response to your earlier question, yes, you should feel safe. That head should not.
No, 100% should not. So
Yeah.
something was dripping from that bottom. No, I'm kidding.
It's Ben calls that his Fruit Loop dust. Rachel, what else we got?
Cassie tipped the show $5 and said, Ted, if I could pay you $5 million to donate to anti-Trump campaign, I would.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you. No, I would take that for sure. Yeah, whatever it takes.
And then Frankie, $2 from Alex, $1 towards depot loops, and $1 towards a punching bag, so you don't end up punching her out.
Oh no, I'll take both dollars, but I'm definitely gonna punch my kid in the face. So yeah, thank you for the suggestion.
Tam, $5 and said, Frankie, between snorting Fruit Loop dust and welcome to the jungle, bitch, I'm done. I'm done in.
Yes, kind of bitch. I love it. Yes.
Tyler Stevens, $5 for Frankie. I literally almost fell out of my chair. Great set.
Thank you.
Nice.
Andrew Gordon, $10. Frankie, the way you closed that bit, just here, money.
Oh, thank you
Nice.
so much. Thank you.
Can we pause for a quick second? I know Ted has to get running. Ted, will you please tell us where we can find your stuff and how we can get your special and all that great stuff?
Sure thing. Well, thank you guys. First of all, this was so much fun. My special is called Cut Up, and it's free on YouTube. So if you go to my channel, you can find it there. And I also do the Ted Alexandro show right here. So if you're missing the head, every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we live stream the Ted Alexandro show. So thanks again, guys. So much fun to be with you all.
Thanks,
Your
Ben.
special
We
is
appreciate
super
it.
cool. It's super cool the way it's shot. It cuts between different sets and different clubs. It's really cool. So please do check it out.
Yeah, and Ted also has some really amazing stand-up clips on his Instagram, and I mean it. I've said this for years. Pound for pound, Ted's the best comic in New York City. Go check out his stuff. Absolutely.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that, man. And thanks again to everybody. Frankie, nice to meet you. Thanks to meet everybody. And thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Ted.
Ted.
We'll
Yeah,
see you next
cheers.
time, buddy.
You got it. Bye-bye.
Dude.
All right, Rach, catch us up. Let's play this game.
Yeah, we got lots to catch up on. So we've got also, we already said Tyler Stevens. So then Matthew Plummer, $5. Frankie, I can't improve on what Steve said about your set. Amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet.
Jessica,
And thank you. I also appreciate that.
Don't try to encroach on my compliments, Steve.
If you get to keep the tip, I want the compliment. All right?
You're doing fine. Let me get the compliments.
Jessica,
I just wanted to compliment really quickly Frankie on claiming
Shut
that
up.
compliment back. I thought that was pretty great.
Thank you, man.
Who just told Ben to shut up?
I think it was Jess.
I don't think that was meant for me. I'm hoping.
Family, not you.
I was just
I'm sorry.
That's the bird in her. That's the bird in her backyard making noise. She's like, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid bird."
I'm
It was
really
timed
sorry.
perfectly, though.
Perfectly timed.
All right, Jess, speaking of Jess, $25 for Frankie. She said, you got me for sure. I have roommates just like that. Being a mom is really funny. They also get to wreck our vaginas, but we never get acknowledgement for that. Have a beautiful day.
Girl, they blow the doors off the church. I know.
No shit.
Okay, warm bath, a couple of balls up the puss, and Kegel. Be good as new in about 30 days. All right, go ahead, say Rachel.
Did someone say Kugel? Did someone say Kugel? Kugel.
Kegel. Kegel. That's how strong my vagina is now. It lifts me up my seat. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, Frankie doesn't even need to stand on stage anymore.
But I can pull a truck. But anyway, we don't need that.
All right.
18
Heather O'Connor.
wheels of just tips. My God.
Heather O'Connor tipped $10 and said, "Frankie girl, that was awesome. Something fresh and new. Thanks for the enormous belly laughs."
Oh, thank you so much, girl. I appreciate you.
George in our live audience tipped $20 and said, "Thank you, Frankie."
Okay, George. Hey, boo, you single? I'm married, but fuck that nigga if you got a little bread. It's like,
Pity
never
I'm
said I
gay.
was a good person. Never said that.
Tracy tipped $10 and said, "For Frankie."
Nice.
So thanks,
So much,
Tracy.
girl. Appreciate
Frank
you.
Nataro, Frankie, great name, and you had me crying laughing.
Ah, yes, you are. I'm your namesake. Your dad, is that you? Like, what's going on? You got child support? What's happening? Mom's dead, so you can come out of the woodwork. Go ahead, Queen Rachel.
Oh shit.
Frank might be, I don't know if he's someone's dad, but he often reveals people's dads because you might not know Frank Natar was the host of TV's The Maury Povich Show. So a lot of people.
That
was
a
solid.
misdirection
That was
episode for sure.
We had some generals. Frank Moritz tipped the show $10 for Rachel and Leedy, who sometimes have the funniest spots on the show. # Rachel Legal Fun.
Nice.
Nice.
Then we had, let's see, a few more generals. Rita O'Donnell tipped the show $10 and said, "I love the show."
Thank you.
Gavin Johns tipped the show $10 and said, "Thanks for staying on and proving consistent laughs. Dodgers might have been robbed out of a WA victory, but Oakland's going to take them tonight. Let Ben know if he wants to rep the shirt. I'll put $20 down on Oaktown."
In the game tonight?
Oh, in the game. What?
In the game tonight, $20 bet, Dodgers versus Oakland?
Yeah, I think so.
You're on. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. I think he's saying that he'll put $20 down. The show will win $20 if the Dodgers win, but you have to wear an A's shirt if they don't. That's what he was saying.
Okay, first of all, I'm not putting down $20 if the show wins $20. I'm putting down $20.
No, you're not putting down $20. You're agreeing to wear an A's shirt. The A's are a baseball team. Ben, let's start there.
I don't have an A's shirt. How am I going to get an A's shirt?
Oh,
He's
you
gonna
have
send-
an A shirt. Shut up. You have every shirt of every team of every.
I have a shirt with the letter A on it because I have, of course, the whole alphabet individualized by 26 shirts.
You probably have an A's jersey of people who have never played for the A's.
Gregorio.
I might have an A's hat I could probably get my hands on.
All right. We'll get you something. I probably have something.
Deal.
All right, Rachel.
Get some more.
Go so quiet. What happened?
So we had, let's finish the generals, and we had more Frankie too. So much stuff coming in today. Peter Amsel, $10, and he said, "Ted, legally can't contribute to a political campaign, but buy yourself something special. Hint, hint."
I love that.
Janie tipped the show $5 and said, "Having the worst day ever besides the day Steve left me. Y'all are keeping me out of my sight." Thank you. Love, Steve's fake ex-fiance.
Oh, I know who that is. All right. It's a running gag of hers on Twitter. It's a thing. Her ex-fiance had red hair, and so she decided it was me.
Hilarious.
I love how mad you get when people like you, Steve. It's so
No,
funny.
it took me a second.
You get so pissed when someone likes you. I'm like, I like when people like me. It's fun.
It took me a second to figure. I wasn't mad. I was just trying to figure. I was like, who did I leave? Oh, okay. I didn't actually.
Well, let me just change subjects by saying, Steve, I loved you. I never told you this, but I loved you on Modern Family and your relationship with that chubby guy.
I just say, Ben, that is the third time I've gotten that.
That is sad.
But you know what? It's really rude to thank Steve for his role in Modern Family, but then you say nothing to Chris about playing Cam. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. You know what? not gonna say it, I will. I fucking love you in that show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Holy shit, you two need to go as that for Halloween. Oh my god.
Oh my god, we could do that, dude. That should be our Halloween
Only
costume.
if Ben goes as Sofia Vergara.
That's not a problem, and I think you know it's not a problem.
We all have to go as Modern Family. Ben,
That'll be our Halloween episode. Yeah, because Rachel kind of looks like Cam and the daughter. You look like the daughter. You look like the daughter a little bit.
Okay, I'll take that.
Same
I don't know
hair?
what she looks like, but cool.
She's a young Asian woman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
She's like an 8-year-old Asian girl.
Can I do more tips? Can we
do more tips.
Yeah, you do more tips.
Hot Diggity Laura tipped the show $15. Tyler Stevens $2. Accidental heckle for the win from Jess.
Nice.
Frankie had a few more things that had come in. So Tesha Whitman tipped you $5 and said, Frankie, for playing catch up, you got interrupted doing your job. Here's $5 for interrupting my job and making me laugh.
Oh, God.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Matthew Plummer, $5 more. Here's another $5 for you just to tell Steve I wasn't exactly happy. He said a better compliment than I could. Leave some room for the rest of us, Steve. Sheesh.
I would like to thank you for that comment. I really appreciate that.
Ben, why have I never met you? You are all of you are lovely. I love every single one of you. But Ben is such a piece of shit. I really enjoy it. Like, I really love Halloween.
Oh, thanks, Frankie. Feelings mutual. Let's hang out once the world begins again.
And by the way, the reason you never met him is because you left LA in 6 weeks.
I did. It was the most embarrassing LA move. I moved January 20th. I was back here March 18th. So embarrassing.
Oh.
Yeah, 6 weeks. Holy shit.
You know who Ben reminds me of from It's Always Sunny? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's very clear.
Charlie Day?
Charlie, yes.
I'll take that. That's a high compliment. I'll take that.
A super high compliment. That's my dude right there. That is my dude. That's my dude.
Charlie work.
All right, Queen Rachel. Sorry, back to
Finish it up,
No,
Queen.
it's all right. A couple more. So Jan Johnson tipped you $5 and said you had me dying here.
Thank you, Jan. I appreciate it. Come back to life. No.
And then actually, we're ready for the game. So
All right.
The game.
let's
Play
go
this
to the
game.
So the game today is, what's the game today?
Tower to TV show.
Tower to TV show. So live audience, if you guys want to raise your hand in the participants window, I'm going to read 2 unpaid entries first that I really like. So first unpaid entry is from Andrea Gordon. 13 reasons why I never speak up.
Nice.
And then Shannon Savage had How I Met Your Mother in a Well-Lit Crowded Space.
Nice. I love when you guys get the game immediately. That's my favorite.
All right, and so Frankie, these are the ones that we're going to start to vote on, starting with our live audience and then the rest. So just
How do I vote?
So just at the end, you just tell us whatever your favorite one was.
Oh, dope.
Your
Okay,
entry.
got it.
So let's go to live audience first. Let's go to Sean.
WKRP in hiding.
Louder.
That was WKRP in hiding.
All right.
Which was delivered kind of in hiding. So perfect.
Yes, that was perfect.
Chris
it?
LaBelle, unmute yourself.
So I have the 100 feet I keep between me and people. Master of Shun. And then the extremely fragile Kimmy Schmidt.
Leedy.
All right, so I have The Handmaid's Tale between her legs. The Hiding Dead, and Chicken Shit's Creek.
Good. Jess or anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. I'm gonna mute.
Okay. So I was I had trouble with this one, but I came up with, instead of Braveheart, Shaking in My Boots Heart.
Nice.
No, not so good. No. How about life is fucking terrifying instead of life is beautiful? And then instead of Saving Private Ryan, whoops. That's it.
Tam
Nice.
Brown?
Damn.
I have crap. I just lost it. Where's my thing?
You can do
I
it.
just lost it.
Oh,
Of course,
afraid
it's been so
afraid
long.
to leave the house.
Nice.
And shit. Had it, it's gone. Oh, Buffy the Vampire Avoider. That was the other one.
That's really good.
Anybody else? Joe or Jan? George? George.
Yes.
Okay. And then
So I just have one. This is only my second time, so I'm a bit new at this. So I don't want to die, so I silence the lambs.
Frankie, Angles, Nataro.
Yes. 8 is enough, unless I'm really scared. Then I need at least 12. Or I dream of safety. And then I love this show. All in the Family Bunker.
All the Family Bunker. That's
brilliant.
All right. And so here's the rest. So we had Jeremy Day. That's So Craven.
Oh, fuck. How are you guys not laughing more at that? That's fucking perfect.
I don't get it.
That's a good one.
Craven is a synonym for cowardly, and That's So Raven is a television show, Pat.
Craven means cowardly? I thought it meant like you like want stuff. Like I'm craving some taco.
Not craving. Crave it. All right. It's...
Oh.
Hey, Jeremy.
I'm gonna
Jonathan X. The Dukes of Caution. Jonathan S. The Great Game Show. Stop till you start getting tired. Stop. Stop until you start getting tired. Whoo.
The Dukes of Caution also just have a yin yang flag on their roof of their car.
Coexist bumper sticker.
That's right.
It's actually just a Swiss flag.
Tyler Stevens, The Walking Dread.
That's good.
Nice.
Watts had Space Ghost, Coast to censored due to witness protection protocol. Jeremy Day, on behalf of Dina, Quantum Leap in the opposite direction and run for your life. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Gus Walsh, Are You Afraid of the Everything? Jeremy Day, Mission Wimp Possible. Watts, Malcolm, please don't put me in the middle of this. Watts, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yes, yes I am. Mario Miser, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where S.H.I.E.L.D. means stay home, I even lay down. Alexander Breyer, That 70s Show, You With the Danger of Drugs. There's a lot. Bob the Build a Safe Space.
I like that Bob the Builder, but he just builds a panic room on every episode.
And then Renee Hutchison. Hey, kid, I could have been your dad, a.k.a. how I chickened out and never met your mother. There's Cassie Nolan. Dark Shadows. What the fuck was that noise? Watts. Clarissa explains phobophobia. Brian Slivka. The kids in the hall are waiting to beat me up.
Oh my god.
Cassie. Real monsters in the White House. And that's all of them.
All right. Wow, that was really good. God damn. So I like Buffy the Vampire Avoider. I like Chicken Shit's Creek a lot. I like I Dream of Safety. I'm between The Kids in the Hall Are Waiting to Beat Me Up, and I think I'm going to go with Are You Afraid of Everything? I think that's what I'm going to go with. But second place was Kids in the Hall Are Waiting to Beat Me Up. Frankie, what was your favorite one?
So some honorable mentions: The Handmaid's Tale Between Her Legs, All in the Family Bunker, and That's So Craven was just absolutely brilliant. But my favorite is Chicken Shit's Creek. That's just bananas good.
All right.
Could be one more win for Schitt's Creek. It's been a hell of a week for them.
Rachel, what's your favorite?
I loved The Kids in the Hall Are Waiting to Beat Me Up, but I'm going to give it to Chicken Shit's Creek.
All right. Ben.
I loved The Kids in the Hall. I loved The Handmaid's Tale Between Her Legs, but my vote goes to Frank's I Dream of Safety. Oh, good.
I loved Are You Afraid of the Everything? I loved I Dream of Safety. I loved Handmaid's Tale Between Her Legs, but I'm giving it to Chicken Shit's Creek also. That was
nice.
Perfect.
Congrats, lady.
Nicely done, lady. You know how to claim the prize.
Frankie, did you have anything that you thought of while we were thinking there? You can throw it if you don't have to if you don't have one.
Oh no, I did not. I didn't think of anything for that, but my daughter did come and try to interrupt again, and I did turn to her and say, "If you don't get out of here, I'm going to have a late-term abortion." So that was funny. But no, I couldn't think of any titles.
Some believe that life begins at conception. Frankie's like 14.
Maybe.
Life ends with Fruit Loops. Rachel, what you
I've
got?
got a couple dumb ones.
All right,
How many
Steve, Ben.
do you have Steve and Ben?
I got a couple dumb ones too.
I got 12.
Oh my god.
I got a little less, but I got around there.
Okay, well I can just read. I've got let's do 3.
Go for it.
Billions of dollars is what I need to leave my house because I'm agoraphobic. Modern Family that lives in a bunker. And then my last one, SpongeBob shits his pants.
SpongeBob shits his pants is really good.
That was awesome.
All right, Ben and Steve, let's go back and forth. Ben,
All right, I'll try to follow that. But Ben, you go first because you have more.
Sure. The Sopran Maybes.
I have mildly perturbed men.
I've got Mad Men, but whatever, it's fine.
I have I'm not quite sure how I feel about Lucy.
I've got Buffy the Vampire Whisperer.
I have hard to say whether or not I am justified.
I've got I Love Lucy, but I don't think I should tell her. Should I tell her?
I have American Everything Is Okay story. Which is not, by the way. It is not.
I've got Buffy the Vampire Sayer. Someone just sits there and goes,
I have less strange things.
I've got Breaking Bread.
Fragile Rock.
Fragile Rock.
That was good. Lost, but afraid to ask for directions.
Monty Python's Walking Circus, because flying, I mean, there's so much involved.
Fear the Walking People.
The Running Away Man.
The Outer Limits of My Comfort Zone.
Stay Home and Avoid Adventure Time.
Peek Through Blinders.
Ah, God damn it. That's a good one.
That might be my favorite.
Air horn.
Stargated community.
Okay, all right. That might actually now be my.
Oh, don't call it a comeback.
And my last one, Star Trek Deep Space Nah.
In Germany, that would be called the same thing. All right, one person got that. Thank you, Taylor. All right, my last one.
You should feel bad about your whiteness right now. Seriously, step your white bullshit up. For real.
All right, fine. Well, my last one to make a show more cowardly is Better Call Rand Paul.
That's good. That's good.
Nice. All right, it's Leedy time. Leedy, what else you got for us?
All right.
Howdy leedy time. It's howdy leedy time.
So I have one more of Ted. Make 2 head bumps. Problem solved. Here is Ben as Frankie's child wearing the Guns N' Roses
Turn
shirt.
it over a little, please.
Oh, this way?
Yeah, right there. Yes. Oh, so cute.
Well, we're gonna post. She'll post them too, Frankie.
Oh yeah, that's very cute. Thank you.
Ben trying to ram pizza into his bubble.
Looks so good. That looks so tasty.
Awesome.
Ben just licked the screen.
It literally did lick the screen. I just licked the screen. That is a fact.
Here's Steve saying Nowhere Comedy Club is making so little money that we're opening a second location.
We don't have a first location.
That's so great.
Bowers, you can't make your own drinks.
You are so good, Leedy. These are fantastic.
Thank you. Here is that one guy, Lenny. Sorry, I don't do sports.
Blinders.
That's okay. He doesn't either.
Blinders. I love that.
Yeah, Steve peeked through blinders. The chicken and the SEAL Team 6 guy.
Oh my God, that is so
Awesome.
frightening.
Here's Frankie about to kill
Hey, yes.
Nice.
Frankie will spear a bitch.
Forever.
And then thanks for this. I had to Google what a Kegel grip was.
That is
By
a
the-
fucking picture of you pulling a truck with your pussy, Frankie. That is unbelievable.
Yourself, Leedy.
By the way,
Ask you to draw my album cover for me, but thank you for that. I
Wow.
appreciate it.
Frankie, I just want to point out, Leedy is 18, and you have just taught her something very important.
Where's your mom? So I said, take your face.
Look, I guess our youth is getting softer these days. I've been pulling trucks in my pussy since I was 15.
The first page is just all plates of Kogel.
How you make me so hungry, dog?
You're gonna get some weird ads from Target this week, but don't worry about that.
Oh yeah.
Frankie, we did it. Frankie, where do we find you out in the world? How do we follow you around?
I'm on all the social media, just at Frankie French, FRANQI. Figured I'd keep it simple. Tomorrow night, you can catch me hosting Nowhere Comedy Club for Comedy Gives Back. Ladies of Comedy Association presents Black Comics Matter. It's a fundraiser to benefit comedians that are struggling right now. It's a fantastic lineup. I'm hosting. Janelle James is on, Dwayne Perkins, Khalees Hawkins, Rob Hayes. It's going to be phenomenal. You can follow me, and the link is there, or go to Nowhere Comedy Club, or also Ladies of Laughter. You can get the link there. So tomorrow night.
And Dwayne and Rob are two of my absolute favorite comics. So
They're
please.
phenomenal. Yeah, they're
It's
fantastic.
gonna be a great show. Well, thanks so much, Frankie. You were awesome. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for coming on. You were great. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Frankie.
Again, as for me, you can find me at Bowers Comedy, and you can find our podcast, Dockheads, with me, Todd McComas, and Savannah Martin. So check that out. Rach, you got anything to plug?
Sorry, I just took water. No, I'm good, thanks.
All right, Ben.
This Sunday, I'm doing Glebe Off the Top crowd work and improvised madness. My first show I'll be doing from the Nowhere Comedy Club broadcast stage we've been working on for 2 months. It is ready. I can't wait to do a show there. Steve did the other day. It was awesome. Zainab Johnson will be opening for me at the stage as well. Leedy will be drawing remotely because she lives far away. It's going to be a real blast. Andrew Rivers will be hosting. It's going to be a real fun show. So please get tickets to nowherecomedyclub.com. SDSC is the promo code for a discount.
And if you don't want to see Rivers, just show up about 10 minutes late.
Yeah, show up 10 minutes late. That's totally
And I do want to point out that is correct. Finally, it is ready. Nowhere was doing so well. We did open a second location. So please check that out, and check out my show at Nowhere tomorrow as well, nowherecomedyclub.com, and ask us everything every Monday.
Very cool. All right, well, we made it to the end of the show. We got anything to catch up on, Rach, before we say goodbye to the audience?
We do. We had a couple. So Gus Walsh had a bit of a late game entry. He said, "Legends of the Hidden People." And then Kelsey Jacobson tipped the show and said, "Ben, weren't you the host of Idiot Test? That helped me laugh through a few tough nights with my depression. Thanks. Everyone check in with your people. It's hard right now."
Thank you so much. Yes, that's very cool that the show helps people through some times. It's still on. You can still laugh through it.
Yes, and people are not quite sure if you were the host, apparently.
Yep, I have let myself go. And when in 9 short days, I will be in old Idiot Test hosting form. I mean, plus probably still about 15 pounds, honestly. But you get it. You get the idea. It's going to be great. It's on Netflix. Check it out.
Very cool. Well, thank you, audience. Yet again, you were awesome, as every day. We really do appreciate and love you guys. We will see you on Friday, right? Friday, yeah, because today's Wednesday. So Friday, and Rachel. We'll see you later.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you guys on Friday. It was a really fun show tonight.
Yeah, good times.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for... sorry, what?
I was just going to say goodbye, and then you were going to say goodbye. But
I thought you'd already said goodbye.
I said goodbye to Rachel, but it's all right. Goodbye. No, I'd say, yeah, I just we're almost all moved in. Chrissy's been working, putting stuff on the walls, so I appreciate her. It's not that I don't want to do it. I just don't have the eye for it. She does it better. And she does.
I love what you've done with the place. It's really incredible.
Well, it looks kind of the same, but kind of different. I put a couple different things up. Anyway, we'll see you guys Friday.
All right, and I just want to say thanks to everybody for, I know the first half of the show was very different today, and I appreciate you guys, letting us indulge in that conversation. I hope people learn stuff from it. Ted is, as I said on the show already, one of my favorites. Please go check out his YouTube special, and comment that you saw him on SDSC, so he knows people were watching. Also, I hope you guys enjoy my Twitter thread with Lenny Dykstra. I can only imagine what that weird cokehead has written in the last 90 minutes. Can't wait.
It has been a real fun show once again. And look, I know things are weird in the world and it can be tough and people are going through things, but just know that if you're ever overwhelmed by it all, you could just be in the safety of your home, do one of these moves, and then do one of these moves. And you're all good. You're all
There
good.
it is.
You're gonna be fuck. Even the bubble doesn't work. There's no hope. There's no hope. See you Friday.
I'm going to pop your bubble.
What's in the head?